This is the Pilot's News Briefing Podcast. I'm Frank Daniels. With me today is Ana Risano from the Pilot's Newsroom, bringing us the latest news in Moore County. But coincidentally, you went outside of Moore County to gather this news.
Yes.
And it's a long-standing story, or it's a long-running storyline.
Right.
I guess I'll let you take it.
Yeah. So yesterday, Wednesday, I was at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Troy, where there was a final hearing on the matter of the case of Allisha Watts, who had gone missing in July 2023.
The case surrounding her death. Yeah.
Yes. She was found a month after she went missing. Her body was found, and her boyfriend at the time, James Dunmore, was arrested and charged with murder in relation to the case. And so yesterday, the last hearing came through and he made a plea deal, pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter and failure to notify of a death with non-natural causes.
Which I found to be an interesting charge that I had never heard of. But this was as you say, the final hearing, but there had been many, right? How many in total?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I have attended a handful in person, and there were several that had been continued without any action happening at the hearing.
Okay.
So there's been a lot. I mean, it's been over 2 years since the hearing started.
Was that in late 2023 that she went missing and the search was undertaken, and as you say, eventually a month later her body was found. And Dunmore is from Charlotte, isn't that correct?
Yes.
But the hearings were all held in Troy because that's where she was found. Her body was found.
Yes, and he's been held at the Montgomery County Jail since he was charged.
Okay. What else can you tell us about the case? And maybe we can talk about the community, the rally in the West Southern Pines community, and I'm not sure if there were other similar efforts in other communities, but clearly West Southern Pines is what we know. It's close to our offices here, so that's what I saw.
Yes, so the West Southern Pines community, if folks don't know, is a very tight-knit community, and Allisha Watts was a very important leader in the community, and so when she went missing, everyone kind of banded together, and they held dozens of vigils. They led efforts to go walk and drive through the areas where she was last known to be. And they even chartered a bus to go to Charlotte and hold a press conference at the, I think it was at the courthouse there.
Okay.
But all the efforts have been led by them for their lost family member, friend, sister, cousin, all of the terms you could use.
Right.
And so with the hearing yesterday, their folks have expressed disappointment with the outcome. They don't see it as justice for Allisha. A couple of people said it was like a slap on the wrist for him to get that kind of sentencing.
Because this sentence ultimately was measured in months, not years, right?
Yeah, it roughly adds up to about 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Considering that he's already been in jail for a couple of years.
Okay, all right. I just remember seeing in your reporting that it was described in months.
Yes, 52 months
okay.
minimum,
that's
58 months max.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's years.
Yeah.
Okay, and sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
So these efforts have been ongoing. They traveled to hold press conferences and spread awareness of her disappearance. And then when was she ultimately? It was a pretty quick.
It was about a month before she was found.
But then after that, it was a pretty quick investigation that led to the arrest and ultimate or subsequent charges against Dunmore, right?
Yes, he was arrested the same month.
Okay.
The case is a bit complicated. I think it's a little bit too much to go into at this moment. But there was a lot of kind of missing pieces involved, as the district attorney had explained. They had so much evidence, but not quite enough hard evidence to point to exactly what happened. The medical examiner's release of, what is that called?
The autopsy?
Yes. It determined the cause of death was undetermined because there wasn't enough evidence. It's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay. There wasn't enough. And again, I'm missing the word, but the autopsy, the factors that they look at to make those determinations weren't clear by the medical examiner,
right.
Or to the medical examiner. So, and as you say, I think the word maybe is circumstantial, lots of circumstantial evidence, but not hard evidence, or I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
maybe,
that word wasn't used in the hearing.
Okay. Well, then it's
know.
probably best not to use it here either. If you aren't aware, we're trying to be very clear with our words because when it comes to legal proceedings and the definitions of words are very specific in those contexts, and certain words can imply certain things that might not be accurate, and so that's why we're trying to be very careful.
Sorry.
and as you say, another reason why it might be best to leave the complexities of the case to your written stories, instead of trying to go into them here and muddy the waters.
The most recent story up that's online is a pretty broad summary of the case, but folks can go back and read the dozens of other stories that I wrote, and I think a couple of coworkers helped write, about the different prayer vigils, the boots on the ground efforts to put up signs looking for Allisha, and things like that.
And what's the title of the new story?
Something like boyfriend pleads guilty in Allisha Watts' death.
Okay. And it's Allisha. So if you search for that on thepilot.com, that will certainly bring up a lot of these stories. And I'm sure, and you've linked between the stories. So
I linked a lot of the stories, not all of them, but a lot of them.
So it's likely that if you find an entry point into one of the stories, you can find your way to the rest of them. But if you go onto the pilot.com homepage at this time, that story will be, the most recent story will be up there.
Right.
Or our thepilot.com/news is our news page, and it will be one of the top stories in that list as well. So if you have questions for Ana after you take a look at that story, you can send her an email to anna@thepilot.com. That's ANA@thepilot.com. And if your questions stray into the realm of legalities, she can direct you to the appropriate respondent. And if you have questions for me about the podcast or what we're doing here, you can send that to frank@thepilot.com. That's FRANK@thepilot.com. And that's the latest news in Moore County.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.